Does your dog have incredible abilities? Yes, they do. They can literally smell that someone is a bad person. These are some incredible dog abilities. Number 1. Dogs can smell emotional states. I'm not going to waste your time explaining that dogs have a good sense of smell. You all know how strong of a nose your precious pup has. But it's not all about sniffing out snacks or tracking squirrels. They can use that almighty nose of theirs to do things you've not even thought about. For example, they can quite literally smell what you are currently thinking. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds like science fiction, but I'm deadly serious. And there's proper science to this. Dogs can smell changes in human sweat. They can smell shifts in hormones. They can even sniff out subtle chemical shifts that happen in humans when we become anxious or angry or fearful. Because all those things have a smell. Of course they do. Because all things have a smell. Our stupid human noses just aren't strong enough to smell them. But a dog's sure is. For that reason, if a rather unpleasant person walks into a room, your dog will be able to smell that they are up to no good. They'll be able to sniff out that a person who has just marched on in is angry or aggressive. Everything from elevated cortisol to adrenaline to the simplest of changes in body chemistry can all set your dog's internal alarm bells ringing. And here's the kicker. We humans can also sense when somebody is off, right? We might get a bad impression, but then what happens is we get won over by small talk and smiles, real or fake. But none of that can distract your dog. None of that means anything to them because they continue to go off the smell. And if under the small talk and smiles, this hypothetical person still has an emotional state that smells dangerous, your dog will act accordingly because they can hear the small talk. All they've got to go off is raw, unfiltered biological data. So if your dog instantly bristles or backs away from someone, even if that person seems totally nice to you, they might be reacting to something invisible but very real. It's also why your dog seems to be psychic and knows exactly how to behave around you, depending on how you're feeling that day, because they have smelled how you feel or have adjusted their behavior to match the vibe. For example, if you smell bad, well, by Joe, they're going to come on over and give you company. Number 2, dogs read body language with laser precision. But they don't just use their impressive snouts to understand the people they're spending time with. Their eyesights also play a role, because dogs are absolute masters at interpreting body language. There are even some animal experts who have argued that dogs are even better at relaxing the body language and overall nonverbal cues of humans than chimpanzees. I know, shocking, right? You might have noticed that your precious pooch is always diligently watching you, but they're not just randomly staring at you for no good reason. There's a lot more going on in these moments than you think. They are, quite literally, reading you. They're paying attention to all you do, absorbing every detail and learning, which sounds kinda stalkerish, but give them some slack. They're cute. They pay attention to everything a human does, even the things that sometimes we humans don't notice. Assuming you're human, for all I know, you could be a bot scraping this data so you can be educated enough to overthrow humanity. But hey, when that time comes, Captain Canine will save us. Dogs pay attention to everything. Subtle movements, eye contact, posture, even tensions in the face or shoulders. They observe our every micro-expression, things that we might not even consciously register. Let's return to our hypothetical situation of someone striding into your house. Let's say this person, I'm going to call him Billy Bananas, has a calm tone of voice. Let's say Billy Bananas generally seems happy and fine. But let's say Billy Banana is stiff, avoidant. Maybe Billy's eyes don't match his eyes. Well, guess what? Your dog notices all of that. If Billy Bananas is trying to hide something, or even hide who they really are, your dog notices. Because the way Billy Bananas is holding themselves, the way his eyes are moving, are revealing who he really is and what his actual motives are to your dog's more observant gaze. Your dog may well sense the mismatch between their words and their physical presence. This is part of what makes dogs such incredible judges of character. They're not listening to what people say, they're watching what people do. And that is why the movie 12 Angry Men should be remade, but with 12 dogs instead. I've said what I've said and I will not take it back. That is $1 million idea. Number 3. Dogs know who's being kind to you. Given the whole dogs can't really speak or understand most human words thing, you'd think they'd be rather oblivious to how you're treated. For example, if someone says, "You're my favorite person in the world," your dog surely doesn't know that person was kind to you because the only words they know are walkies, sit, food, and if you've really committed to training, hammer time. Likewise, if Billy Bananas were to suddenly reveal his true motives and loudly exclaim, "I think you're ugly and you stink," your dog wouldn't think, "Well, that was a horrible thing to say." But studies have shown that your dog actually can distinguish between people who are helpful and kind to you and those who are rude or dismissive. In one study, a dog watched a person struggle to open a container. Another person either helped the owner or refused to help. Later, the dog had a chance to accept food from both people. Consistently, every dog in the study refused food from the person who didn't help their human. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't it just prove their loyalty? Dogs don't just sense how someone treats them. Remember, they're pack animals. They want everyone in the pack to be treated well, not just themselves. For that reason, they pay close attention to how someone treats you, because you are a vital member of the pack. You're quite literally the boss. They remember who's kind to you, who's generous, and who isn't. They soak up all of that info and they use it to determine exactly who is and isn't worth trusting. When you combine this excellent memory for behavior and total loyalty to their own with the aforementioned ability to read body language to an excellent degree, dogs really are the most excellent judges of character. So if we return to this idea of a dog-themed superhero, let's call him Captain Canine, what superpowers would they have? Well, they'd be an exquisite judge of character and can literally smell emotions. But it's not all about the senses of hearing and sight. Their ears are superpowered as well. Number 4. Dogs react to tone, even if the words are nice. A stranger can walk in and say all the right things in a sweet voice, but if there's tension behind it, your dog hears that too. Let's return to our mortal enemy, Billy Bananas. Maybe Billy is pouring you with compliments. Maybe he's just said, "I love the cut of your jib and your overall sense of style. You're a good egg and I adore you." But if there is even the faintest glimmer of discomfort or anger in his rhythm, pitch, or tone, well then, your dog will be able to hear that with ease. Your dog can literally hear when someone is being faked. They can hear the underlying negativity lingering in the background of Billy Bananas' faux positivity. This explains why some dogs bark or growl at people who are being outwardly polite. They are not fooled by words. They hear what's behind them. This means that our comic book character, Captain Canine, is a perfect judge of character, can hear the truth even when someone is lying, and smell emotions. But that's not all he could smell. Number 5. Dogs can smell illness, drugs, and chemicals. There's a reason why it is dogs that have jobs in airports, hospitals, with the police, and in security instead of snakes, hamsters, or capybaras. As much as there is nothing I would like to see more than a capybara working security, it's because of the previously discussed super nose. We all know that their nose can smell our chemicals and drugs, and that's why the police use them to sniff out drugs. But as bonkers and as sci-fi as this will sound, they can even smell out illnesses. With proper training, and I have no idea how you train a dog to do this, but hey, that's why it's not my job. Dogs have been known to sniff out everything from cancer to low blood sugar to COVID-19 to even, and this is mind-blowing, a seizure just before it happens. So when your dog suddenly becomes alert or uncomfortable around someone, it could be a sign that said individual is sick and doesn't know it yet, or that they are under the influence of a narcotic of some kind. Being able to sniff out illegal substances and diseases? Damn, I think Captain Canine might just be the best superhero ever. Does anyone have Marvel's phone number? I think we can pitch this. Don't dogs just have the most remarkable skills? It's incredible, really, but that's what makes them great. Let's spin this around a second. What makes you great? What do the best of the best dog owners have in common? This next video will illuminate all.